All right, so welcome to another unstoppable recap. And family, this one right here is an extremely sad one, right? You know, domestic violence is a serious issue in relationships. And you have right now, presently as we speak, a lot of women going through these things and don't know how to escape it, don't know how to get away from it, or even if they know how to, they are in fear. And that was the case in this episode shared on Unstoppable Life some time ago. This lady spoke about how, her partner was extremely abusive and even kicked her in her stomach multiple times shortly after she gave birth to her child. Family, this one right here is extremely sad to listen to, but take a listen to this episode that was shared on Unstoppable Life.
All right, then. Well, I'm gonna start with how I met my first baby father and how I met him. I moved into the same area as him, which is the same district. So I moved in the same area as him, and um, I seen him around, and one day I was coming back from shopping, and he stopped me and talked to me, and he was very gentlemanlike and nice person, and he asked me out for a drink, and if I would come out and have a drink with him. So, I agreed because he was very, very polite and really and truly, you don't really find much men those days anyway, back in the 90s that had manners. So, anyway, so me and him, we went out for a drink and, we were friends for a little while and got to know each other and everything like that. And about just say like after a year and a half of courting, because it was courting, because at the end of the day, the only thing he done was kiss me on the cheek. So those kind of little things, and he used to open car door and stuff like that for me. And he used to be polite and manageable, and so that's what I liked about him. And so anyway, so we took it slow, getting to know each other until things start getting serious between each other. We start have catching feelings. So in the end of the day, we decided that you know, because he had his own place and I had mine. So decided that he would come and move in with me. So which he did. And so he moved in with me, and then two about 2 years later, we welcomed our first son into the world. And but um as we welcomed our first son into the world, things start change in his attitude, in his ways, how he started to treat me. So anyway, so yeah, so um we welcomed our first son, and our first son, he was born very premature. 3 months early he was born. So my time was to work part time and then go to the hospital and nurse my son until it was time for him to come home. So anyway, everything was okay up to before he came home. It's 12 days after when he was born where the violence started. And I came out of hospital, and he attacked me. And he attacked me because I got home late from the hospital. And the thing about when babies are in hospital, you can't stay there. You have to nurse them, stay at the hospital all day. You have to leave them. So time I got home, it was late. So I just start assuming that it's not the hospital I'm coming from, it's a man's house. And this was 12 days after my son was born. And and the attack was so quick because he just start getting mad and angry, and he assumed in his head that I was coming from somewhere else. So before I knew it, I had a big slap in the back of my head, which made me fall to the ground. As I was on the ground, he was kicking me in my stomach. And I was still like bleeding from the birth of my son. And it was only because people were passing where he stopped. And I felt ashamed. That's why I never tell anyone. Not even my family knew, and that's where the physical abuse started with my first baby father. Um, but it just didn't get any better. Like, it got worse. And after that, when the little one was brought home, when he was brought home, um, he would have incidents where he would attack me, but not attack me in front of the baby. And then when my little boy turned 2 years old, he turned around and the baby was crying a lot, and he was trying to get some sleep because he worked nights. So at the end of the day, with the baby crying and everything, he get up from the sofa, get so ignorant, and why you can't shut up that baby? The baby just keep crying, crying. And he pick up a brush, one of them big, them wooden brushes with the hard comb on it. He picked that up and he slapped my son with it. And as I got involved, and he had with his other hand had pushed me, and where I licked myself against the wall and dropped. And when he finished licking the poor baby, the baby, when I look at him, he had like the brush marks on his body. Um, the only thing I could think of is taking my child and going to social services to see if they could help, because I don't know, I was just full up of so much. I think it was shame. That's what it was, shame. That's why I couldn't even tell anyone. And the abuse that I was getting was on my body. It wasn't on the face. So they never helped. They just asked me if I have family that live far out. So I said, listen, I don't have anyone. And the family that I do have, they don't know what's going on. So they just offered me a train ticket out to the area in somewhere far, as long as it's in the same country. And so then I find myself going back to the same house where I didn't want to go back. Um, then I end up pregnant with my second child. Don't even ask me how. I end up pregnant with him, and he came premature as well because I have a problem with carrying full term. So in the end of the day, I have a small womb. So in the end of the day, the hospital was supposed to sew me up from when I had the first child because it was on the records. But obviously, the baby come before the operation came for him to stay in a bit longer. So he came premature as well. Oh, Lord. And then afterwards, the same routine again. I had to, he's premature, so I had to go back and forth to the hospital when I got released from hospital. Um, he wasn't so much, he wasn't so violent when I was pregnant with the second one, when I had the second one. But devil have, the devil have work to do, because when I brought my son home from hospital, this is my second born, I brought him home from hospital, and you know, um, he would help me a lot around the house and stuff like that. And then he offered to bath the children at night. So anyway, so he bathed the children. I'm in the kitchen tidying up. I hear something funny because the kitchen and the bathroom is on the same floor. So I hear something funny, like, I saw some bubbling water thing. When we rush in the bathroom now, I see him lifting up the second baby from the bath, from underneath the water. I pull him up from underneath the water. So I grab the child, wrap him up in a towel, and I knew what he done. And I look at him, and I say, really? And he don't say a word, So even up to now, he don't even say nothing about that same night. And I wrap up that child in a towel and I sit on the sofa. And in my head, I'm just talking to God, because I don't have no strength for him. So in there, I'm too scared to leave. So in there, I'm there talking to God in my head, and I'm looking at him. And I'm saying, you know what? And I sit and I was and I know I don't know how long I was sitting on that sofa with that child, but I was sitting there for a very long time. I know that because him start, him here start dry and him start dry. I was sitting there for a long time, and I had to make a decision that I am too scared to leave. But in the end of the day, I can't have this child under the roof. Not when I just see with my own eyes. God let me see with my own eyes what I see. So this time my family don't know what's going on, because I have to go and put on a front. God knows how I manage it. But the next day, and it was in the morning, I called the local authorities and asked them if they can remove my child from the home. And they came around the same day. And then they're asking me, the lady asking me if I'm sure. And I said, well, yes, he can't stay here. He can't. And and as a mother, I had to think about keeping him safe. So they asked me if I know anyone in my family that would take him. And then that's when my mother now get involved, because she had to know what was going on. So she agreed she would take him, and she did. By the time she's working, because she was a teacher, so she had to juggle everything. And then, my auntie got involved. My auntie took over to have him, until in the day I sort myself out and stuff like that. That's a different story about the auntie anyway. So I had to make that painful decision, sign papers, and one good thing, the child was kept in the family, but sign papers for him not to be in the same household. So when as soon as the child was removed, um, my firstborn now, when he wake up that same day and from his nap, and then you see that the second one wasn't there, and then he just pushing the walker around the house, just pushing the walker, and that's what he used to do. He used to push his brother around in the walker, and there was no baby in the walker, and he's pushing the walker around, and all that. You have to try and grip that somewhere and put that somewhere, because I have more important things to do, because I'm there planning to try and leave this man. And God, no. The whole of me scared like a God himself. Scared, terrified. And he always threatened me with if me leave with the children, he will kill me. So it just never felt like a way out for me, you understand? So God have mercy. So I'm there in this nightmare um with this man, still sleeping with him, and trying to leave. And I left before. I left after that incident, and he found me and draped me up on the road. And then I had to go back home with him. And then so me just, there's no way out. And I don't have the guts to take my life. And for that, I don't even believe in that. Whew. And then not long after, yeah, I fell pregnant again. Third time, I fell pregnant again. And then, ooh, and then so in there, I welcomed another boy again. Um, the violence is when he feel like it. But by this time now, when the third one come along now, there was all cheating involved and stuff like that. So, you know, sometimes he wouldn't be at the house, which was good because at least I had a break. But every time when he come through that door, we'd always gear up my jaw and get my jaw and my face ready. So that in day when him ready to give me them thump, by this time, him start lick me in my face, quick back shot in my face. And so I prepare my face, I prepare myself. So it don't hurt that much. And then I have my third born, and then with the third born now, I don't know. He seemed to do more with the third born. I understand him. He changed his nappy and it did more for him. And the violence was like less until was it I left I this night I planned to leave him and he went to work as usual because he works at night. So in there I packed up the children. By this time now I have two that I'm, taking along with me. So anyway I plan to leave him now. And this time we got a
You
woman's
say,
refuge.
hold on, you
Woman's
say you
refuge.
have
So
two that you're taking along with your two what?
two children.
So what happened to the other one?
Because remember the third one now, the second one, it was gone to my mother. And then my auntie took over and she started look after him because she had more time. And my mother is a teacher, so she was finding it hard to juggle the two, looking after grandchild and working as well.
So why
So
is
my
it
auntie
that
took that
why
one.
is it that you didn't try to protect yourself from getting pregnant while you was in this situation with this man?
Protect myself. Well, number one, say he would have killed me if me I take tablets. And number two, everywhere that I went, I had to go with him. You understand? Like, I couldn't go clinic and them something there on my own. Couldn't go shopping on my own. Couldn't go nowhere really on my own. You understand? And in the day I was a lot younger. But when I look at it now as an older person, I was a lot younger. And this is the first proper relationship and also a violent relationship I've been into. I never really know anyone so much that has been in that same situation that I was in. So at the end of the day, I never had no freedom. I couldn't go out. I couldn't go out on my own. And in the day, nighttime, no man, you're mad. In the day, he would kill me. I could never go out at nighttime. I had to be in before nightfall, And whatever he said, I did because the thing was on my mind is that in the day I don't want. The more I agree with him, the less probably I'll get beaten. You understand? And on top of all that, him control everything, every single thing, and he was the main provider. Because I stopped working from when I had my first. I stopped working.
Okay, so
he was the main provider as well.
So tell us what happened after that night you decided, okay, enough was enough.
Night where I found out when I left that night and I was able to escape. And I had to pack I only was able to pack one suitcase and hide that under the bed. And then and carry like everything was normal. And listen to me, I'm growing up in a Christian home, so it's really hard for me to lie, So at the end of the day, to try and put on that face so he doesn't see, it's like he could see through me. You understand me? So I had to pack, and put the suitcase under the bed and then go out, so everything normal, and then try and make sure I pack up the children, nappy and stuff like that, and hide it so he don't find it, and then still go cook and put on a front like everything is okay. It was hard because sometimes I thought, oh my gosh, I wonder if you know what's going on. Then I wonder if you know what I'm planning and stuff like that. But anyway, he went to work and I was able to leave with the children. So we left and we went into a woman's refuge. And so the man come find where I was And we had court 2 days after, when I was in the woman's refuge, and the address of the woman's refuge was on the paper, on the court papers. I didn't find where I was, so they had to move me to another woman's refuge with the children. So we were there, and they were asking me, what do I want to do? Do I want to move somewhere else, or do I want to stay where I am? So I said, well, I want to stay where I am because it's my home. It's my home. It's not his, it's mine. So I want to stay where I am. And, because they gave us different options, what I can do. I can go and stay somewhere until in the day he completely moves everything out and move out, or I could go back and give him 1 day, 24 hours notice to leave the property. So that's what I went with, going to leave the property because, I brought my children home and it's my home. So I didn't want to just give that up and go somewhere else. So, yeah, so we went with that. And the judge ordered him and gave him 24 hours to move out his stuff. And then, yeah, so he moved out his stuff and I went home. So when I went home now, I think the couple of nights it was okay. And then one night now, about 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, them kind of time there, early in the morning, the man go throw one big old brick through the front room window, smash that. And when I jump out my bed and I run and look and I see the brick. And then so when I go outside, he's gone now. But I knew it was him, so I called the police and I reported it so that it's down on paper. So anyway, he done it again. Like he done it like weeks after he done it again and break the window again. But this time he put a note and said that he wants his son, which is the eldest one. And he said he's not gonna stop torment me until he gets the eldest child. Why should I have all the children to myself when they don't belong to me alone? So anyway, the police took the letter that was attached to the brick, and so they say that they're gonna do something about it, but I never seen nothing because it just felt like nothing was done, And then he would come, sit outside the house, and he would sit in a car. And he just sit there for hours and I call the police. By the time police come, he's gone. And this went on for a while until solicitor. I went to go and get a solicitor and, we took him back to court and then we got restraining order. Restraining order don't work. Him hiding in the bushes. And then when I'm on my way home or leaving, he's in the bushes. He's somewhere under a tree, somewhere watching. You understand? The restraining order never works. So after all of that, what did work is one day when he come to the house and we had a disagreement about one of the children or something. Then he raised his fist to punch him in my face. And I draw for one long kitchen knife. And you see, listen, I'm about 4 foot something, 4'11". This man is 6 foot something. I take that knife, you see, and I put it right under his throat. And I said to him, God, God help me. Come here, I gotta kill you in here. And the knife is so sharp, unstoppable. It gone right in his throat. And I tell you, I don't know how I found the strength to stand up to him because he's 6 foot. I'm not even 5 foot. And in the day, I find the strength and everything in me. And I had a knife at his throat. And the man was in so much shock. So the man come out of my life that day. That you see that when I put that knife at his throat, the man come out of my life. The man don't hit me. The man start talk reasonable to me. And all he said to me when I had a knife at his throat, he said, I'm sorry. He said, I'm sorry for everything I done wrong to you. Please don't kill me. That he said. And when I took the knife away, it was cut a little bit at his throat. But I never thought I would have all of that inside of me. So me and him, that was it. He never, he just never harassed me or bothered me anymore. He tried to, he tried, because he's dead now anyway, but he tried to, you know, make kind of argument over the children, little idiot fussing, like, when he want the children and Christmas and all them something there. He tries, but he don't take it that far where he wants to come and punch me up and them things there. But that was the day when that was it. Okay, so anyway, so 3 years later now, I'm single, and my friend said to me, so you don't wanna meet anybody or anything? And I'm like, no, 'cause I wasn't really fussed. 'Cause I've been single for 3 years, and you know. So she said, oh, there's a guy, and it looked like you two will make a good item and stuff like that. But she just keep badgering me about it. So I said, all right then. So she set me up on a blind date. This is the second baby father to be. Anyway, so up on a blind date, and first red flag, he was late. He was about what, 30 minutes late or something like that. And he said something about his car or something like that. But he apologized and everything like that. And anyway, so everything flowed good. And we got on really well. And maybe because we're the same star sign, but we get on well. And I never laughed in my life like I did when I laughed with him. And so anyway, so we exchanged numbers and we start talk, and we start, we went out on a few dates, got to know each other and stuff like that. Well, thought so anyway, but got to know each other. And yeah, so one day now he said to me, I want you to meet my friends. I really, he said that he's into me and he wants to meet his friends. So I say, oh, okay, all right. And I'm nervous, like meeting friends, and I don't know how much friends. So anyway, so went out and he introduced me to his friends, and I said, oh, there was a lot of them, And I said, okay, meet his friends and everything, and they seem nice and everything. Everyone seems friendly and everything. So anyway, so meet his friends and everything like that now. And then and then things got serious with me and him. He's good with the children, really good with the children, and he's just a good man to be around. So anyway, so my first baby father now met him, and they got on. So that was all good. So so anyway, so it's when me and him now get in a relationship now, I find out that he's with certain gang. So at the time, I'm not gonna lie to you, at the time I liked it. It turned me on, it made me feel safe, and me just love it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, me did love bad man, because I never had a bad man. I'm say, oh yeah, this bad man can protect me, and bad man can be there for me, and bad man treat me better than first baby father. So me say, well, yeah. So, and the safety there, that was the main thing, the safety. That I know that I'll be safe, and no one can touch me because I have him. And I really did like him, and the light turned into love, and so things get serious between us, between me and him. And then, yeah, and then a year and a half later, I had my baby, my last child. I had him, and so anyway, so when he was born and everything like that, everything was all right until until I run into some problems. And how I run into some problems, is that when I had my last child, and when he gave me some money, and he gave me some money towards a child, and also him also teach me how to, because I've been around him when he's doing certain kind of illegal stuff. I can say these things.
Yeah, man, go right ahead. Nothing is wrong with that.
Illegal stuff. Let me kind of watch him and learn and stuff like that. And then so anyway, so cutting long story short, the girl that used to do my hair now,
Don't say that part.
she
Don't say
was
that part. Don't say that part. Just get to the part where he got to jail or whatever. Don't say the part where you're about to say.
Okay. So anyway, so cutting long story short, his track record wasn't so good. So he ended up in prison. And then so when he ended up in prison now, I supported him. I went to go and visit him. I took the children up there to see him and everything like that. And then because he had so much criminal record, he had so much things on his file, they end up deporting him. But throughout that now, I supported him with sending down some money, sending down clothes with family members and stuff like that. And being there, and we were also talking about, you understand, because the judge, well, when I say, but anyway, he was allowed to come back after certain years had passed. So at least he wasn't completely cut out not to come back into the country. So anyway, cutting long story short now.
But there's a question I need to ask you, Carla. There's a question I need to ask you. I mean, I know I asked you this previously, but you don't believe in taking contraceptives, or you don't believe in these kind of things? It's just something I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know, because listen, I used to take it when I was, when you first have your boyfriend and your stuff. I used to take them things there, but I never took it with the first one. But the second one, no, we never take it with him. No, I think but no, we never take it with him. We never take it with him. So there comes the second one. Okay. There comes the last one. But anyway, so yeah, so through all of that. So anyway, so where am I now? So anyway, so they deported him. And then I support him through everything and send him, money and whatever. And then one day now, Missy said, and get married, because I see the pictures on Facebook, and the pictures were only up for 24 hours. And yeah. And then I was just, and then when he got deported.
Let me ask you a question, Carl. Let me ask you a question. Because I'm observing the way you're speaking when it comes to this. The first part of your experience, you were flowing comfortably. And now we're at the second part, and it seems as if it's kind of difficult to come out. Is it possible that...
It's very hard. It's hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard. You know why it's hard? Because I'm still hurting. And
that is what I was about to get. That is what I wanted to ask you, because that's what I'm sensing. I'm sensing that you're still hurting from this
yeah, of course. Because let me tell you something, okay, right? I see everything. I saw wedding bell, everything we there planning, Not like I say I'm there talking to myself. We there planning everything, Okay, and he got deported when the child was 7. Unstoppable. When the child was 8 years old, the child get ill. And I pick up the child because he used to do karate after school. And I picked him up from school and he was complaining, saying he's not feeling well. He said his head is hurting him. So I said, never mind, baby. I said, I asked him if, did someone kick you in the head today or something like that? He said, no, but he's just not feeling too good. So he come home from school and he went straight to bed. So anyway, I continued doing what I'm doing, cooking and then things there, getting those things out the way and to feed the other children. And went up and checked on him. Unstoppable, when I went into his bedroom and I checked on the child left side is swollen, his head swell, his arms are floppy, his leg is floppy. He had a stroke. We had to call the ambulance, and then they had to have him airlifted to the hospital. The child have a malfunction to the brain, genetic, from his side. And when I find out, let me tell you when I find out, when in the day the child is in intensive care and his family come down and said, oh yes, he did have a child that had the same thing and he passed away from it. Because you can die from it, if you don't have medical help ASAP. He had to go through 2 major operations, different times.
As I said, this one right here was an extremely sad one. And she escaped one situation with her first partner and then jumped into another situation with the next partner, which didn't end too well either. But family, if you want to listen to the rest of what was shared on this episode, click the link in the description. It will take you on over to Unstoppable Live, where you can take a listen to the rest of the story in its entirety. While you're there, click the subscribe button. Turn on all notifications so once we go live, you can participate in the live stream. Make sure to subscribe to the recap channel as well, so once we drop a recap, you will get notified. Watch out now. Until the next Unstoppable recap, stay strong, stay motivated, but most of all, remain unstoppable.
Unstoppable.